Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is Blue Moon for the month of May Tarot Oracle reading. And Sagittarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Sagittarius, we all have a little bit of Sagittarius in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Sagittarius in, that could give you an idea where this energy is most likely to show up for you. And also, this is a timely reading. So if you are watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Whoops. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, so we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have the the Three of Swords. All right, this is the underlying energy for the entire reading. Sorry, my cat just joined us, little Stella, and she has happy feet. She really, really likes the readings, and so she's started to purr. A cat's purr does have a healing vibration. It lowers blood pressure. So figure we could all use some of that. Yeah, you're a good girl. You settle down though. All right, sorry. She's so sweet. So the Three of Swords is talking about, like clearly this is heartbreak. There's, it's not a great thing when you have three swords stuck in your heart. But when you look at this, you realize, hey, the heart is actually big compared to the swords. So they're more like nails, and maybe that's better, like it's something you could heal from. This is representing definitely some sort of, healing of the heart needs to happen, an apology possibly. This can represent harsh words being spoken, gossip, slander, that type of energy. And also, sometimes this can represent, in matters of love, third-party energy dividing a couple. And then we have the underlying energy for the internal forces, and we have victory. So this is talking about wand energy, and the wand energy represents the element of fire. The wands are made of wood. Wood fuels fire, and it represents passionate action. And this person has taken passionate action. So this is talking about your internal forces. It could be something that you're competing for, or you were in a battle for, whatever this is. It shows that you were able to rein in your emotions and discipline your mind, which made you a leader. And the people in the background here, even if they're disgruntled and they wanted, say this was a promotion at work, and you're the one that received it, they might have all wanted it too, but they have to admit that you really performed very well. Your interview went awesome. Your work has been exemplary. You've been really calm through like a lot of maybe conflict at work. And you deserve to have the, to be the leader here. And look how proud you are. So this is your internal forces, the what ifs. This is what you do have control over. This is, you'll know it's an internal force because you'll be saying things like, what if I don't get the position? What if I don't get the raise? What if they do? That type of energy. What if everybody's upset? And on and on. And the what ifs can have you in a thinking loop that's kind of never ending if you let it continue. So it's just talking about the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life. And the King of Wands is representing how you view your image of yourself right now. So the King of Wands is representing someone who's visionary. He's considered to be one of the sexiest of the kings in the deck. He is someone that a lot of people enjoy his company. He's got a good personality. He's charming. And he's fun to be around because he's optimistic. He's passionate about moving forward and loves to tackle new projects, new adventures, that type of energy. He has these salamanders in a circle on his on the back here with the lion and a little salamander running here. And that represents that he has protection from fire. And I noticed a while back this face on the back of his throne. And I can't ever unsee it now. But like there's two eyes and then the mustache and the nose with the smoke coming out of the mouth and the nose. And this could just mean, hey, he's smoking hot, because he is. But it also can mean where there's smoke, there's fire. So one thing to understand about the King of Wands is that of all the kings, he's going to be the one that settles down last. He is really enjoys his freedom, and you know, if there's smoke, there could be fire. So it could he is a bit of a you know, his love of new adventure and new projects bleeds into his romance life quite a bit. So he, you know, when he's ready to settle down, he'll settle down, but it takes him longer than most. And this is talking about an example of this, basically. So this is about abundance. And really what this is saying is he wants to expand his horizons. This is your energy. So you might not be ready to settle down right now. You're just wanting to explore and have fun and, you know, move, you know, date and not take things too seriously. And this energy can represent someone who is standing on the precipice of change and really wants an adventure. And so this is, there's ships sailing by. I know this looks like sand, but it's actually water. The sun is shining on it. And so this is talking about moving forward. Sometimes this can represent out of being a couple and moving forward as someone single. And so that could be where you're at right now with your abundance. You want to expand your horizons. You want to tackle something new. This card is representing feeling left out in the cold. So you might not enjoy where you're living right now. Sometimes this talks about wanting to actually literally physically move, change careers, or some sort of energy. So maybe here some sort of opportunity has come your way and you're thinking about going after it, that type of energy. That's what I'm picking up. This is in your communication from when you were a child, and so you might have always felt like you're a bit of an oddball, black sheep type energy, never really fit in with other people. Quite often, that kind of energy is because maybe you're a star. The energy can be talking about you're not meant to fit in, you're meant to stand out. And once you accept that, then it doesn't bother you quite as much. This energy, there's only 5 pentacles here though, and pentacles in tarot, they do represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional world. And here, we have a situation where we only have 5 between these 2 people. One of them is on crutches and is wearing this big bell around their neck. And this is called a plague bell. And in the old days, they didn't have apps to ostracize people from society and keep, warn people of, keep them away from the plague, basically. So if they felt someone was contagious, they would tie a big heavy bell around their neck, and you could hear them coming into town with it. And so then everybody could run out of the way and get out of the way of the person, which made it really challenging to get a job, as you can imagine. And then this person doesn't even have shoes and they're walking in the snow. This card can represent tactics that other people have used to put you in a position where you feel, left out. The snowflakes represent tactics that people can sometimes use on ourselves and on others. It's not uncommon at all in the world to do that. And the snow, when we have the snow at first, it's really pretty. And then after, a couple weeks and then a month and then a few more months, it keeps piling up and you have to shovel it, and it makes everything more challenging. So it's kind of, anyone can handle a flake or two, but when a bunch of flakes pile up, then it can cause a lot of problems in making life more difficult, basically. And so this energy is just not feeling like you fit in. And so that would make sense. It looks like you might be thinking about moving, doing something somewhere else, or a new position. And we had this energy where you did get a promotion or want a battle of some sort. So maybe that's what this is about. And the Ace of Swords is talking about following your own truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God. And so that's being your authentic self and being able to move forward. So this makes really good sense here. And this is in how you feel right now about your emotional foundation. So I don't feel like you're that upset that you are ostracized here so much, or don't feel like you fit in. I think you feel like, thank God I don't fit in. That's the energy I'm getting. I haven't had it come up quite like that before, but it's kind of like, you know, you're on your high horse and you're like looking down and going, you know, I'm okay with not fitting in with you people. It's kind of funny how it's coming up. But so this is the Queen of Swords energy. And she's learned discernment. So this makes sense again. This is about wanting, you know, the swords do represent your, the element of air. And this is your thoughts. This is your mental intelligence, your discipline of your mind. That type of energy. It's, she's got her left hand out, so she's willing to receive. But she's got her, in her right hand, she's got her sword. And she's like, if you want to come towards me, that's fine, but you better come in correct or off with your head. She liked the old days when queens were allowed to do that. She doesn't want to put up with any bullshit from anyone. She's been there. She's done that. She has a t-shirt. She doesn't need any more souvenirs. She has her head above the clouds and has clarity. And this one bird in the background here represents that she's very independent. She doesn't need anything from you. If she, you know, she's willing to receive and engage, but only if it's on the up and up. Don't bother her if it's bullshit. And then look at, this is maybe this is someone trying to come in. So the Queen can appear quite cold. So this might be where, this is your creativity, romance, and children. So you might be in a position right now where you're feeling pretty, because it feels like, I would say that the word that best describes your energy right now is sarcastic. That's the energy I'm picking up. And so it's like, yeah, okay, you know, maybe someone's asked you out on a date or whatever, and you're like, you know, if you come in correct, I might entertain the thought. Like, it's not that I don't want to date, but man, please don't be like an idiot. You know, it's that type of energy. It's like she's just had her fill. It's like she just doesn't want any more of it. And I feel like this energy has been going on for a while, and it's just kind of a dissatisfaction with where you are at right now and wanting to move forward in a new way. And so this is the soulmates card. So if this person would be coming in correct, more than likely, if they're a true soulmate. This is talking about you know, someone who, it's like a soul contract, very connected to higher source energy, to the Most High. And this is talking also about a very healing energy and really strong communication. So this can also sometimes represent within yourself, if you don't have someone coming in or don't want someone to come in. That's, you know, because this is, the soulmate doesn't have to be about romantic love, but quite often it is. The cups can be about romantic love. They could be about love of anyone or anything. And sometimes they can even be about love of something you want to do or be. So this is representing that kind of energy. This could represent your masculine and feminine energies being very balanced within yourself and strong communication to source energy. And that could be representing your energy. Now, if it is a soulmate, they would be in the same energy as you. It's, you know, strong within their masculine and feminine energies and balanced already. So it's not like you need the person to balance you out, or they don't need you to balance them. It's more like you would just enjoy some companionship and have some fun together and keep each other, like, you know, stimulated to stay on the path. And then we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is the underlying energy from for the external forces. And so the external forces, you're not saying what if, now you're saying what the EF, like external force. What the EF happened here? And like this is talking like this energy right here is saying this is cutthroat energy, and this is saying I'm willing to risk what I have to get what I want. And you've already fought off these two people, and they've laid down their swords, and you're like, any other takers? Because like I am going to, you're, you know, in this energy, like I've learned discernment. I'm not putting up with bullshit from anyone. I'm willing to risk what I have to get what I want, and you better understand that, because I've got 3 more swords here. It's that type of energy. Now, this is representing outer conflict, but sometimes this can represent inner conflict. And you know, inner conflict breeds outer conflict. So the inner conflict, remember the swords are about your discipline of your mind and your you know, mental intelligence. And so battling for everything and being in conflict is not a pleasant place to be. And sometimes that can just start within. And so sometimes this card can represent, and because we're talking about moving into the external forces, I feel like external forces have caused you to be unsettled in your internal forces, and it's bringing up shift. So this is, and if you want to be your authentic self, being in conflict isn't the answer. So this can represent you and your 3 minds, basically. So your subconscious mind is formed by the time you are, you know, 6 or 7 years of age. And think about when you're a baby, you know, babies in the first year, look what a newborn baby learns. So it's all about learning so much, and a baby will absorb their environment like a sponge, and also the thoughts and the culture, the food, the religion, all of that is absorbed at a very young age and heavily imprinted on us. But really, it's the thoughts of the people that are in charge of our care, not our own so much, because it's the environment that we're in that that's being imprinted on us. And that really stays with us well into adulthood. And when we get in conflict quite often, and it'll end up that's the mind we use. I know, I'll do this. And it's not the most reliable, because when you think about it, you don't even remember probably when you were a baby. And you know, most people can't remember much before kindergarten age. So it's really not you at this point when you're an adult. And the unconscious mind is, you know, from a spiritual point of view, you know, a lot of people will say, yes, I agree, I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from your soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body as your vehicle to navigate Earth. And if the soul's needs aren't being met, then it'll start getting very loud and arguing with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. The conscious mind is, hey, I just fought these 2 dudes and I won. Then I can tell you exactly how I did it. Like, you have the memory of it, you're conscious of it. And the other 2 swords here can represent, you know, these are 2-edged swords. And you need to use your intuition and your logic to be able to come to creative solutions rather than getting into conflict all the time. You don't want to get into the habit of having to battle for everything in your life from the inner or the outer conflict. Inner conflict will breed outer conflict and vice versa. And look at this, we have the 8 of Swords. So I feel that's the energy. This is talking about external forces. And I feel this is, you know, when it comes to external forces, you can either respond or you can react. And I feel like you've maybe been reacting, and you need to respond. This energy, we've got, this person is like, she's in a mental prison. She can't move forward because she feels duty bound in some way. And she's got a blindfold on, so that can represent just not wanting to see the picture and not wanting to have to deal with it. But she, at one point, I feel there was more water here. Water in tarot represents emotions. Now she has her right foot forward, so she's on dry land here. And her left foot is still hanging back. It's in a puddle. And but it's a shallow puddle, and I feel like, as I said, like, not that her emotions are shallow, but it's more representing that there's way less emotion. And so she's gone through all these thoughts, these decisions, and this energy is now, there's one sword left here, and she's decided pretty soon she'll bring this left foot forward, pick up this sword, cut off her her binding here, and say, okay, I'll take the blindfold off, I'll go do what I have to do. Now she does have her palace behind her, and she's got her back to it, which can sometimes represent needing to leave your comfort zone, and also it can also talk about leaving people behind, leaving, and that's this energy here again that's coming up, feeling left out in the cold. These can sometimes represent the thoughts of other people being directed behind her back. And this energy here quite often means that a heartbreaking decision needs to be made. And this is in your position of your partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So you may have left a significant relationship, or a partnership in a business, or some sort of energy around that, just not feeling it anymore, like feeling like I don't belong here. And the moon is coming up. So we are talking about the blue moon, and blue moons, they have the saying once in a blue moon, and this blue moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's a very compelling blue moon. Blue moon does not mean, in this context, doesn't mean that the moon is actually blue. Sometimes the moon will appear blue, but that's usually after a volcano has erupted or there's a lot of forest fires around. It can block out certain color rays and cause the moon to change color from the perspective of Earth. But we're talking about on May 1st, there was a blue moon or a full moon, and now there's a second full moon in 1 month. So the moon energy is very volatile. A full moon, if you've ever been, working in a hospital or as a server in the entertainment industry or the hospitality industry, you'll recognize, that it is, and the police, emotions run high, and generally 3 days before and after that energy, we can feel it coming in. And the full moon energy is about really releasing and preparing to plant some more seeds. And this is a really, the blue moon it's quite rare. It only happens about every 2.5 to 3 years. And I've looked back on the times when I've been tackling projects on a blue moon, and it'll be really challenging, but then in the end, it's like a really extra bonus, like if you manage to get through it. And so it's that type of energy. This is about staying on your path. This lobster's climbing out of the emotional waters. Again, that's talking about this type of energy here, to stay on their path. And this is a dog and a wolf howling at the moon, and they've got to somehow be vulnerable and get past there. We have the sun, the moon, and the full moon and the new moon all together, and this represents eclipse energy. Now, we did have an eclipse on February 17th and another one on March 3rd, and that energy lingers with us for about 6 months, and we'll sometimes feel it, like around the middle of August, you might look back and say, whoa, I made a lot of changes in my life. And you maybe didn't notice because there was so much change, you were busy changing, that you don't notice it until you look back later. And so this is about, the moon is about hidden illusions coming out, that sort of energy moving forward. So this is in transition, and this blue moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, as I said. Now, opposing that on the other side of the wheel on the horoscope is Gemini. So Gemini and Sagittarius are feeling this energy quite intensely, and any of the fire signs probably as well. And the energy is talking about, Sagittarius is more intuitive and Gemini is more logic. And so there could be that struggle in between, like not wanting to use your intuition or not wanting to use your logic. It's much better if you use both, because then you can come to creative solutions. Now, this energy also, I feel, is a springboard for moving into June. On June 9th, we have Venus and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. moving into the sign of Cancer. And this energy is really powerful. And I think it's been like 30 years or so since it's been in there. A lot of astrologers are saying this is the luckiest day of the year for 2026. And some are saying for the decade. So I feel like this blue moon energy is a rare opportunity, and you could use it as a springboard for getting ready for that energy on June 9th. Venus represents love, and Jupiter represents good luck and money and projects, etc. So that's the energy I would be focusing on right now, is focus on where you want to go, not on, where you've been so much. Learn from the past and then move forward. And then we do have the marriage card here. So commitments, marriage, and that type of energy. So sometimes this card can represent that you've done a lot of the healing work, and maybe you do meet a soulmate here now. And this energy here represents sometimes being able to have these three minds working really well, so that, you're controlling your mind, it's not controlling you, and you've got it plugged into your heart so that you can follow your authentic desires. And that energy is here saying, that be true to yourself. So this is a reward coming in. So I feel like you've done the work to heal over this energy, and you're ready to move into, maybe you have met your soulmate, and you've decided to move forward, and maybe this decision you're making is to move forward and make a commitment. Now, the marriage card doesn't have to be marriage. It can be commitment in partnerships, and also in something you love to do or be. But quite often with these two together, it can definitely represent romance. And I do feel that this energy here is talking about having healed your heart to be able to step into this energy. Now, this is talking about the promise of fulfillment. And it's, basically you have the down payment for the castle, but you still have to make the mortgage payments. You've popped the question, or the question was popped, and the answer has been yes. And so now you're working on the wedding, and then you will have to put the energy into the relationship for it to be successful and fulfilling. And look at this. We have an Ace of Cups then right after. So this is talking about wanting to make a further commitment with a soulmate that you've met. And this is talking about your higher learning. And this is talking about this Ace of Cups will be really beneficial for your career and your reputation. So that's really cool energy. And it's a peaceful energy. This cup of love is like not a dramatic one. It's passionate, but not dramatic, if that makes sense. It's overflowing with energy, and it's like a never-ending supply. And you notice like the water lilies are starting to grow from the mud below. So from all the mud here, this is the energy coming in. This is really awesome energy, Sag. And then we have the King of Cups coming in. So the King of Cups is talking about making that offer, that commitment to move forward, and this is in your blessings. So the King of Cups, he's sitting out in the middle of, you see all that water there? So this could represent your energy, maybe being a Sag and all. And this definitely is a fire sign energy here. Maybe, coming to the conclusion of getting married, especially if you've already been divorced once, is like really hard to make that choice. Like it's, I don't know. And then, but then you decide, no, you know what? And that could be what this was about, actually. This could be about, and maybe your family doesn't approve of this person on some level. But if you've been divorced once already, then you'll have some sort of idea of what you're getting into. So this is talking about when there's a lot of chaos and emotion, and the King of Cups is the most emotionally available of all the kings. And so this energy could be saying that, I feel like this offer is coming towards you, or you have found someone you want to offer a cup of love to. So I feel this is talking about this passion, and there's love here. This is generally a solid offer. The King of Cups waits. he's got his right foot forward, same as like here. And it's saying, okay, I've made the decision. I'm going to make that decision and I'm going to move forward. And this is talking about working, being really dedicated to your work. So the Eight of Pentacles represents really wanting to have this good lifestyle. I feel like this is the only card where the person is actually literally making money. And it quite often means that you've been very focused. This could be saying that you've been very focused, or the person that you are getting together with, maybe both of you, because quite often the soulmates will be very different from each other. It'll be someone that you wouldn't normally date. But when they start talking to each other, they'll notice, oh, that happened to me when I was that age. That happened to me, that type of energy. So it's this can be talking that you're finishing a project and you've just got, you're on the 7th and you have 1 to go. Or maybe the two of you getting together, the project is marriage and moving forward in this way. Because this doesn't just represent money, it represents lifestyle. All right. So that's a pretty interesting reading. Sarcastic Sag. Yeah, it's pretty funny. There can be a lot of resistance to giving up your independence when you're a Sagittarian. It's, Sagittarius likes to be independent and travel, and new adventures are good. Knowledge, just gathering knowledge as you go, that type of energy. But that can be done as a couple as well. And quite often with the Sagittarius energy, if someone, and it's not just Sagittarius, but all of the fire signs tend to be that way. They tend to take longer to settle down than the other signs, because they just have that fire in them, and they're always like, oh, look, there's something new to do, that type of energy. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading up to this point. Give it a like and comment if you will, please. That really does help me build my channel. I really appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you resonate. I am going to clarify for those of you who prefer to have further clarification. Okay. And I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. The numbers on these cards represent, I'm an artist and I did 64 paintings for this Oracle. I started it in 2007. And in 2020, I completed it, all the paintings. Now I'm working on the information that goes with it. On my website, I do have... these numbers represent the order that the paintings are in the gallery. So you can check it out there if you want. They say a painting paints 1,000 words. Maybe it will give you further clarity as to where you're going. The Magician is talking about, okay, this is an energetic upgrade. And this is saying, you've done the healing of your heart and you're ready for this. We have the shooting star energy. So this may even be everything that you always wanted and didn't know. Maybe you don't know you wanted this, but like when I feel like it's a real strong, attraction. And I feel like it's something that even though like you're really different, that's going to keep it more interesting. So the shooting star is when you wish upon a star. And then, you could wish upon a star and sit there for the rest of your life waiting for something to happen. And some people do that, but you really need to have a good attitude and put, your own energy into it. We have the strength here. This is about having the courage and the integrity to take those scary steps sometimes that we find challenging. The throat chakra, this energy, I feel, is talking about having harmony in your words, like letting go of the conflict. If maybe you don't belong where you are right now and it's better to move, like maybe you have, the thing about Sagittarius energy is, they move easily. So, and maybe the person that you meet is someone that lives somewhere else, and so you have to make that choice. If if you're going to be together, one of you has to move. And if you're looking for a new adventure, maybe it would be you and it would be easy. So the Empress is talking about, okay, so the Empress energy on here, I just feel this is saying, the Empress represents the energy of, she's from the Major Arcana, and she has the energy of all four queens from the Minor Arcana in her, like in wrapped up in one person, and you become an Empress status in tarot when you have enough life experience and you've gone through enough and you've managed to stay on your path and do what you need to do to, you know, to be a good person, be the best version of you, become a leader, that type of energy. So I feel this is saying that, you know, whatever hardship you went through here, I'm just getting that really you're not that bothered by it. You're like, whatever, I'll go make some new friends somewhere else. Like, you know, it's not like you're not broken, like you were, but now you realize, like, I just didn't fit in. And this energy, and you realize also that you don't want to fit in with these people. Like you found out maybe, they're not for me and I'm not for them. The Hierophant is traditional structure. This is talking about some sort of justice coming through, and it comes from the spiritual realm, and then it comes down to the physical. And then there's justice again here. So there could be something. I don't see a lot of other cards here. The justice might be that you become an Empress energy from all the hardship that you've gone through and everything that you've learned from it, that it's propelled you forward in a strong way. And now you have the gift of discernment. So we do have the Queen of, I feel that the Queen of Swords, she's considered sometimes to be cold, but that's not her natural state, you know. So I feel like this is saying that this has been an energetic upgrade and you've healed from it. And that's the justice, because now you're moving forward as an Empress and you're going to attract a real strong cup of love with a soulmate. And this is talking about it because you had the courage and the strength to, you know, dig deep within yourself and really look at, okay, what is it that I really want? Take a look at your shadow side. You know, what could I do differently so that I don't end up in this conflict and I can end this conflict within myself? And I feel you've done the meditation and the prayer to discipline your mind so you're not in this overthinking loop, and not, like if you're not in conflict within yourself regarding what you want and what your authentic desires are, then you can be, you know, in a position where you're more authentic in going after your desires. You're plugged into your heart. And then we have pride. So this is an all or nothing attitude. Yeah, sometimes this can be a lot of bravado too, and it can be just winning for the sake of winning. And that's not like that cutthroat energy. You don't want to be in this energy unless it really matters. It's not a good idea to be in that habitually. Like life is supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be a battle for absolutely everything. And judgment is coming in, and this is from the cosmic and from God. This is saying that you've had a lot of challenges when it comes to relationships with a significant other. This one is, God has judged that this one will be good for you. And, you know, God knows this is unfettered hearts. And I feel like that's talking about, okay, you've healed, you've done the work, you deserve to have love in your life. This person, you'll get along with them. It's saying keep an open mind, because they're going to be different from what you would normally date. And that's probably a good thing. And then we have the Hangman, being imbalanced. So the Hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge upside down until he gains a real strong perspective and looks at things from all angles. And this is when you make the transition. Okay, you realize, okay, I'm willing to make that a commitment. If this isn't in love, it could be in a business or moving or whatever that is. We've got anger on this. So in the past, you might have been angry about this. And now I feel like it's saying, you know, it's no point being angry about what happened in the past. If you let it go, like if you've healed from it, it doesn't mean if you forgive people that you have to have them in your life anymore. This could have involved some family members, I feel, or people in your inner circle that you were close to. And it's time to maybe just forgive them and move on. And you know, that, but like, that doesn't require you to have to say you still want them in your life. And then we have the Taurus energy here. So I feel that this is saying, you know, this is that Venus energy. Remember June 9th? Energy, right? Use this emotional blue moon energy to propel you and like to bounce off that that springboard of the blue moon, and be willing to receive this gift, because I feel like this is really a gift for your authentic self. And you know, it's also, what I like to see here is, because this heart is in the throat of this person, and so this is saying that this would be harmonious in that way, like, you know, without the harsh words, without any anger. There's no need to be angry, like you've worked through it. I feel that's what the energy is talking about. And then this is manifesting at a high level and through the sacral chakra. So, you know, maybe you even want to start a family, and that energy, it doesn't have to be, but that could be. And then we have Aries. Well, we have a baby coming here, but this also can represent the energy of Aries. A lot of planets moved into Aries. Neptune was one of them. And, you know, in Neptune, it takes 14 years for Neptune to move from one planet to another. And it was in the sign of Pisces for the last 14 years. And now it's moved into the sign of Aries. And it's really quite significant, because Neptune is our idealism, and it was very comfortable in Pisces. But it's also like moving into Aries. Aries is about getting, you know, like learning to talk, learning to walk, learning to sit, you know, like all the things that a baby learns in the first year. You think about how much that is of learning. But it's not just about learning about things for the sake of it. It's about doing. And so that idealistic attitude that we had in Neptune when it comes to our relationships, new ventures, new businesses, all of that type of energy, is this, it's changed. And so quite often right now, a lot of people are learning that we have to really tweak that change. And so that's, I feel, what the energy is talking about. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. I have. It made me laugh. It's just so typical Sagittarius. And I really appreciate your likes and comments. Consider subscribing if you resonate, and I'll be back. I'm going to be doing a reading shortly after this to tackle the beginning of June, and let's take a closer look at that Venus-Jupiter energy coming through. All right, Sagittarius, bye for now.